Green Desert Boy here. Hey, I really was excited that a lot of you gave me some answers trying to guess what the new gun was that I got. Some of you guessed different ones, because I'm usually a Smith & Wesson guy, but many of you recognize it was a Ruger. And it was, of course, a Ruger Security 6. So thank you for taking the time to kind of have that fun with me, commenting on that. Let's go ahead and check this one empty. Okay, we can see that it's empty. And nice 357 Magnum, 4-inch barrel. Right, Ruger Security 6. Got some wear on it, no doubt about it, right? It has some nice Hogue monotamer grips on it. Somebody put on it. These aren't the original grips from what I understand. These were wood usually. But just a nice gun. There's the whole novel that's written on the side of the Rugers, even back then. So this one, from what we could tell from the serial number, is about 1981. So they're made from 72 to 88 is my understanding. Made about 1.5 million of them. I don't know if that includes the variants, because they also made besides the Security 6, they also made the Service 6 and the Speed 6. The Service 6 was kind of this version with fixed sights, and the Speed 6 was had fixed sights and had a round butt. These, I think, were generally square butts, from what I understand. This thing weighs about 33.5 ounces, so it's actually a little lighter than the L frames and even some of the K frames, and it's still capable of doing 357, 38, 38 plus P. I did take it to the range. When I had it at the range, it felt like to me, and I just loved these grips. One of the things I loved about this gun when I picked it up was the balance. Now remember, I'm sharing with you what works for me, and these are just my opinions. You got to figure out things for yourself, right? But for me, this gun, the balance of it was great. And even though I've been kind of looking for more concealed carry kind of things lately, it was hard to pass this up. I let a Model 67 slip away, which was basically the stainless steel, K38 made in the 70s and 70s and 80s, and I let a Model 10-7 snubby slip away, another 38, and then also there was some Model 15s around, but they wasn't quite exactly what I was looking for. And there was a Security 6 that was stainless that I let slip away. So, the more I thought about it, the more I thought, I really like just good old traditional, well-built 357s, and I don't really have a Ruger because I've been more of a Smith & Wesson guy for that. But I do have enough Rugers, like my, my LCR, the things like, having to push the button to open that is all normal for me. So whether I got to slide it or I got to push it, it works for me. It's got the nice red ramp, front side, adjustable sights in the rear, These grips, they work for me. And when I went to shoot it, the balance was nice. What I did is I went out there and my first cylinder I shot was two of these guys, which are Hornady 125 grain XTP bullets, 38 special. Two of these guys, 38 plus P, 120 grain, 38 plus P, federal personal defense. And then a couple of 135 grain FLEXLOCK 357 Magnums, right? And, in shooting it, it wasn't like it was not discernible at all, but it was hardly discernible going from the 38s to the 38 plus Ps to the 357 Magnum because of the balance and just the ability of this gun to handle those loads. And I was really very pleasantly surprised in that. I don't say surprised, but pleasantly pleased in that. So, this gun is kind of meeting the expectations I had hoped for. Now, yeah, it's got wear on it. You can see there's wear on it here. You can see there's some wear on it over here, and on the barrel, it's probably some holster wear. It's probably was a gun that was actually used, maybe even used in law enforcement. Who knows? But it was probably actually, fairly used by people, but it still feels great. Lockup seems pretty decent on it. And, it's still was a great value for what they were asking. So, and it's shot well, and I'm going to take it back and I'll actually get some range footage and things like that in the future here. But anyway, I just wanted to share that part with you. Now, how does that stack up in size against something like what I normally am looking for in a larger more full-size gun? And we'll check this one empty. That's my K-frame K38 and my L-frame 686 plus, right? Now, how do these stack up against that? Well, for one thing, the design is different here in the back. That's one of the things I think you notice the most, is where you make your grip back there, and the overall frame. And I love this K38. It is a fantastic shooter too. It's a 38 special K-frame, right? It's got some nickel plating. I think it's a Bowman type sight that's on there. Could be wrong about that. I think that's what they call it. Anyway, it also didn't have the original grips, but I love this gun. And recently, I think I mentioned I went ahead and I bought this JM Custom Kydex, holster for it. And, it's hard to find a inside the waistband holster for a larger gun. And that worked out great. But, I saw this Ruger and I said, I don't have any Rugers really in my collection. And how can it be kind of a complete without having a nice Ruger example of a Ruger that's reliable, strong, and got all those attributes that Ruger's known for. So, but you can see in the size comparison, they're pretty close. This one's actually 34 ounces. It's a ½ ounce heavier than the 357. And what about this one? This one's a 3-inch, right? We've checked these unloaded, of course. But same thing, it's got a bigger cylinder because it's a 7-rounder. So that's a little bigger, But overall, this one's almost 37 ounces. I think it's 36.7, no, 35, 35.8. So it's almost 2.5 ounces. And if you had a 4-inch version, it'd probably be 3 ounces heavier, But this one's definitely a little more concealable. But just having classics sometimes is just such a great thing, So I personally am really pleased to have this. It's a pleasure. What was nice is the Galco shoulder holster that I invested in will holster all these firearms, and I also have a 2-inch holster that I can use instead of that one if I want, with 2-inch models. But and I have a hunter holster that works for it, but I'll be getting a holster specifically for this Ruger. It certainly deserves that much respect. And so I'll be trying to figure out who I want to order that from. Adjustable sights, red ramp front sight. Yep. Good gun. Hogue monotamer grips really fit my hand nice and just made me feel comfortable. So you'll be seeing some more videos on this as the weather improves here in the north. It's been kind of hard to get out to the range. I went the other day just to try this out. One day I went out there and the snow was just so deep. I said, somebody braved it, but it's not going to be me. And the next day, one of our local matches was canceled. So I know it wasn't just me. There was other people deciding, it's a bad time to try to do that in the same bays there. So anyway, as Reed Desert Boy always says, be safe out there, whatever you're doing. And if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. So bye for now, and we'll wait till we get this guy to the range.